The Balenciaga show during Paris Fashion Week was poised to be Meghan Markle's crowning triumph, a glittering re-entry into the elite world of high fashion. After years of navigating royal controversies, a failed Spotify deal, and the mixed reception to her Netflix ventures, Meghan had meticulously planned this moment. She arrived in Paris with a stylist in tow, a mini entourage, and an outfit that screamed sophistication, a sleek monochromatic ensemble that blended her signature minimalism with Balenciaga's edgy aesthetic. The front row was a who's who of icons: Kim Kardashian, Naomi Campbell, and a cadre of influencers whose every post could make or break trends. Cameras flashed relentlessly, stylists buzzed in hushed tones, and the air hummed with the anticipation of couture masterpieces. Meghan, seated prominently, exuded the poise of someone reclaiming her narrative, or so she believed. But as the show unfolded, what began as a night of redemption spiraled into one of the most dissected moments of the entire fashion week. It wasn't the clothes or the celebrity sightings that dominated headlines the next day. It was Meghan's laugh, a high-pitched, effervescent giggle that pierced the reverent silence like a discordant note in a symphony. Eyewitnesses later recounted how it erupted during the finale walk, a secret segment where the audience's focus should be laser-sharp on the models, striding down the runway in Demna's avant-garde designs. Instead, heads turned toward Meghan, her head tilted back, shoulders shaking with mirth at something whispered by her longtime confidant, Markus Anderson, seated right beside her. Markus, the Soho House insider and Meghan's oldest ally, had been instrumental in her ascent. He was the connector who introduced her to Prince Harry back in 2016, the gatekeeper who facilitated her entry into Hollywood's inner sanctums, and the quiet fixer who smoothed over rough edges in her public image. Their friendship dated back to her early days on Suits, long before the tiaras and tabloid scrutiny. On this night, however, his whisper triggered something unintended. The laugh wasn't subtle, it was loud, forced, and impeccably timed to draw attention away from the catwalk. Influencers in the audience exchanged glances, phones discreetly recording. Within minutes, the clip was uploaded to social media, captioned with snarky quips like, "Meghan Markle turns Balenciaga into a comedy club." The real storm brewed at the after-party, held in a chic Parisian venue where champagne flowed and deals were sealed in whispers. Markus, ever the social butterfly, mingled with stylists and editors. Loosened by the festivities, he let slip comments that would ignite a firestorm. According to insiders speaking to outlets like Page Six and Deux Moi, Markus joked to a group, "I swear she practices that laugh in the mirror every morning." Another attendee overheard him quip that the giggle was so piercing it nearly threw the models off their stride. At first, it seemed like harmless banter, the kind of teasing that bonds old friends. But in the cutthroat ecosystem of fashion, words travel fast. Someone posted the remarks online, adding fuel with a caption, "Even her best friend is over Meghan's antics." By dawn, the internet had exploded. Tweets multiplied, TikToks remixed the laugh over Balenciaga's runway soundtrack, and memes proliferated. Headlines screamed variations of "Meghan's cringe-worthy confidence" and "Paris rolls its eyes at Hollywood hysteria." The narrative flipped overnight. What Meghan had envisioned as a PR masterstroke, a chic post-royal renaissance, now reeked of desperation. Sources close to her revealed she was devastated, having flown to Paris specifically for this fashion redemption arc. After the Archetypes podcast flop and the week-long launch of her American Riviera Orchard brand, this was meant to reposition her as a style icon, unburdened by palace intrigue. Instead, every article fixated on her laugh, her perceived awkwardness, and the whisper that even Markus was pulling away. An anonymous Balenciaga team member told Grazia, "She tried too hard to be noticed. Paris is about mystique, not volume." In the unforgiving arena of Fashion Week, overt enthusiasm is a cardinal sin. Subtlety reigns supreme. Compounding the brutality were allegations that Markus's candor extended beyond the laugh. Multiple attendees claimed he hinted at Meghan's front row seat being a hard-won favor, not an organic invitation. She wasn't on the initial guest list, a fashion publicist confided to the Daily Mail. Markus pulled strings, but backstage eyes were rolling.
This painted Meghan as an interloper, forcing her way into elite spaces, a damning trope that echoed criticisms from her royal exit. Online, a full storyline coalesced. Meghan crashes Balenciaga, embarrasses herself, and loses her fixer. Behind the scenes, tensions escalated. Insiders described a tearful confrontation in Meghan's hotel suite that night. She accused Markus of betrayal, sabotage, and ruining her comeback. He dismissed it as just banter, but Meghan saw it as a knife in the back. Their bond, once unbreakable, cracked under the strain. To grasp the depth of this rift, one must understand Markus's role in Meghan's life. He wasn't merely a friend, he was her architect of ascent. From her Toronto days, Markus navigated her through London's elite circles, introducing her to influencers and power brokers. As Soho House's global membership director, he embodied the exclusive club culture that catered to celebrities and royals. He played middleman during her courtship with Harry, orchestrated networking opportunities, and shielded her from mishaps. Losing his loyalty felt like a freight train collision, personal and professional devastation, intertwined. The fallout rippled through the fashion world. Invitations that once flowed freely evaporated. Meghan was notably absent from Dior and Valentino events. Rumors swirled that Paris's gatekeepers had blacklisted her, deeming her too loud for the room. A stylist to WD said, "Fashion thrives on subtlety." Meghan brought Hollywood energy and left with a meme. Back in Montecito, the viral clip amassed millions of views, spawning late-night TV jabs and New York Post headlines like, "From Duchess to Diva, Meghan's laugh heard round the world." Harry, sources said, urged her to brush it off as media cruelty, but he underestimated the viciousness of fashion's underbelly. Meghan reportedly withdrew, ceasing calls from certain Hollywood allies and erasing Markus from her inner circle. Their once frequent Soho House meetups vanished. Markus, meanwhile, handled the backlash with unflappable poise. Spotted lunching at Café de Flore the next day, he chatted with Vogue Paris journalists. When pressed about his comments, he smirked, "Darling, if you can't laugh at yourself in this business, you're finished." It was elegant shade, amplifying the scandal while positioning him as the unflinching insider. Rather than defend Meghan, he leaned into the buzz, attending after-parties and casually referencing the incident as an inside joke. Lines like, "She means well, but she doesn't read the room. Paris isn't Montecito," became gossip fodder, trending on X, formerly Twitter, and fueling articles in Dazed and The Cut. Meghan's team scrambled for damage control, reportedly pleading with Balenciaga for contextual footage to reframe the laugh as joyful spontaneity. The brand rebuffed them. "We don't babysit reputations." This rejection underscored Hollywood's cruel calculus, tallies of who's in and who's out. Meghan, already on thin ice post-archetypes, appeared try-hard again, a label Anna Wintour's circle abhors. Vogue insiders joked she aimed for Audrey Hepburn but landed as a real housewife. As Markus rebranded himself as fashion's cheeky darling, charming Balenciaga execs and basking in the spotlight, Meghan spiraled. Sources described her pacing her kitchen, replaying clips, whispering, "I wasn't that loud." Emotional exhaustion set in. Harry consoled her, but royal cuts are quiet. Fashion humiliates first. The incident's symbolism endured. Memes compared her laugh to a fashion siren, clearing runways. TikTok challenges mocked it relentlessly. In a desperate bid to mend fences, Meghan sent Markus a lengthy message, part apology, part accusation. He ignored it, then unfollowed her on Instagram. Their friendship dissolved not in flames, but in digital silence. Months later, the stain lingers. Public appearances draw quips like, "Don't laugh too loud," while Markus thrives as the guy who called out Meghan. Ironically, the Balenciaga night bound them eternally, two facets of a fractured alliance. What started as Meghan's elegant rebirth became her undoing, all hinging on a laugh and a friend's unfiltered truth. In a realm ruled by charm and polish, authenticity, even cruel, prevails. Markus's silence spoke volumes, reminding Meghan that control is illusory and the elite's acceptance fleeting. As she plots her next rebrand, the echo of that giggle serves as a cautionary tale